Hi there. So talked in my last video about how I've been doing this healing work since 2007. And what I've continually been doing is creating my own system of helping people heal their limiting beliefs. And I would say along the way, I didn't always know what I was doing, but now it's becoming clearer and clearer to me. And what I actually created was this really cool deck, and it's actually 5 decks in one. And every day, what I do is I pick a deck from each of the decks. So it's a 5 card spread like this. And on the back is a message from Spirit. And so the point of this is to show us what is not working in our lives and how we can focus on it, and also to bring awareness to the patterns that we are stuck in that are preventing us from finding that inner value, that inner peace, that inner joy. So what I've been trying to do is figure out a way to share this with the world. And what I always do is I always try to overgive, and I overcomplicate things. So I've been trying to, do a spread. Like what I've actually am going to start doing is teaching some, I don't even know if I'm going to call them classes or workshops, but they're probably going to be about an hour and a half or 2 hours in length. And I want people to show up for themselves, where we can actually sit and we can talk about our patterns and how they're getting in the way of really truly living this life of our dreams. And when I talk about the life of our dreams, I'm not talking about focusing on, a life of luxury. I want us to focus on a life of meaning, and that is going to bring about the awareness to how beautiful it could be to live a life of luxury. And when we allow money to not be the most important thing, money will show up. When we make meaning and our internal value the most important thing in our lives, then we're going to be facing those belief systems that are based in lack, and then we're going to be able to move past that. When you feel your value, you're aligned with love, you're aligned with like the creator of the universe, the divine mother and father, whatever it is to you. And what's going to happen is what is meant for us is going to show up. So what I want to talk about in this video is the cards that I pulled from deck 2 and deck 3, and it's talking about our fear and how our fear is preventing us from surrendering. And when we're in a state of surrender, what we're doing is we're allowing the universe to do it for us, and we're allowing the universe to do it through us. When we're trying to do it ourselves, what we're doing is we're actually in a state of control, and we're actually blocking our blessings. So I really want us to sit with this today and really, put your hand on your heart and just breathe into this moment. And really allow awarenesses to show up of how you're letting fear control your life, how you're letting fear put you in a state of control where so that you're not actually just surrendering to what is. Wouldn't it be more magical for the creator of the universe to create something through you than you, who's been programmed by someone else's lack and somebody else's limits to try to figure it out? How do we know what's best for the planet? We don't. The only energy that knows what's best for the planet is the energy of that which created it. So what we get to do is really get good and intentional about our time, and really start to focus on how we spend our time, How much time do you spend a day in the moment with your hand on your heart, getting into the space of alignment where you're aligned with the love, the joy, the peace, and the truth that the divine is? If your answer is anything short of an hour or two, then you're not rewiring, reprogramming, you're not aligning yourself with that which is magical. And you don't have to, but if you want something different in your life, your job is to create the space for it. And I'm not here in a state of judgment, because what I've actually recognized was, I am doing the meditation every day for an hour, 2 hours, usually about 3 or 4 hours. I do, but what I've recognized was I'm not doing it first thing in the morning anymore. And that is creating issues in my life. What I also realized is I'm not carving out time to make these videos, which are things that get me into the moment. I am not carving out time to do the work that I want to do. So I'm always feeling overwhelmed. And this weekend, it really hit me. Yesterday, I felt extremely overwhelmed, where I literally cried almost all day. I didn't know why I was crying. I couldn't stop myself from crying. And what it was me not carving out the time to do the things that I love and the things that I'm being called to bring into this world. So I'm here to share my journey with you so that you don't feel like you're alone. I also want you to, I also want to share my wins and what is working, because today I spent it's probably 2.5, 3 hours in meditation so far. Did it first thing in the morning. And it's like so much of my anxiety lifted. And I got back into that place of peace. There's always going to be peace on the other side of the pain. We just have to keep feeling that pain. And what I recognize now is it's about feeling the pain that's showing up. And also, like your emotional pain, also noticing the thoughts that you're thinking that are creating it. Oftentimes, we can actually trace our thoughts, but other times what actually happens is, because they're so subconscious, they're very hidden. But that is why we do this work every day, because at some point, we're going to see it, we're going to face it, we're going to get angry about it, we're going to get sad about it, then it's going to turn into wisdom, and we're going to surrender to it. That to me is this 5-step process that we get to follow when we really want to create something different in our lives. So like I said, if you want something different, you have to create a space for it. And now I'm creating containers for people to use in order to heal their lack, their belief systems that are based in lack and limit, so that they can increase their value and see their relationships become more meaningful and beautiful, to be able to see their work and their passions become more beautiful and ignited. Like, this is so, I don't know, what it keeps showing up is to live intentional. Live an intentional life where it's like, I'm so sick and tired of reacting to how life is going. And I want to live intentionally. Right now I'm in a space where it's like, I want to put out the very best workshops. I've written some incredible books on my journey. I've got these healing decks now that I'm using. I want people to use this work to become more aligned with love, joy, peace, and truth, which is going to help us recognize and realize our internal value. It's not about money. It's about our value. And then what is meant to show up for us will. So I thank you for listening. I'm going to keep making these videos every day, and I hope you get some